Hey guys, and welcome back to another video on the Dream Game. In the last one, I started making this this massive lake. Yeah, there was so many, we'll say, lapses in judgment in that video. Palm trees on this island, which is located in Chicago. That wasn't my brightest moment by any means. A stunt lot in the middle of the ocean, cool for a gameplay thing, but overall this was just a disaster, and it's a bit too big to even make sense on the map. So what we're going to be trying to do today with my horrible terrain skills. Here, let's grab a snip so I can use my artistic skills to show you guys what we're gonna do. So I'm thinking like sort of a bean shape, something like this, and then all of this will be back to grass, like all of it. Now, do I think I'm gonna be able to do this successfully and look as good as it did before I messed it up in the first place? Probably not. But am I gonna try? Yeah, of course. So I guess to start it all off, we should just grab our terrain tools and really hope for the best. We definitely... Okay, that's a bit harsh. Hold on. We definitely didn't need that huge, like... That's also wonk. There we go. That's a good shape. Now we have a little lake. I'll probably move the buoys back and maybe put some different decoration around here since it's not going to be a massive lake, but that's pretty good. Let's paint the rest of this water just so it gets out of here. And guys, sadly, we cannot leave this as a crater when we fill in all the water. It would be cool, but also like, hey, bruh, what are you doing here? And I need to get back to like taking my time, especially with this project, as there's not any other project that's more important to me on Roblox. Any of my side games or side projects, none of them matter as much as this one. So I need to stop rushing it and really just try to make things the best I can. But there we go. This lake is so much more sensible. So much. I'll probably end up using this guy. Let me see how this would work real quick. Once again, fellas, I'm not the best with terrain. That's painting. We need to sculpt this. That is too small. We need to actually add, I think. Draw, add. There we go. Let's turn on auto plane lock as well. And I think that will work. Guys, it'll work. Trust and believe. It's gonna look bad at first, but I think I know what I'm doing enough to make it look somewhat presentable here at the end. So we're gonna connect all of this. There we go. I wish there was a quick way to fill in all of this. All right, guys, step 1 is filled in and looks pretty decent. Now we need to move to step 2, which is going to be a bit different of a shape. As you can see over here, it starts going down, so we don't need to go all the way back there, and we'll have some flat land up here to work with. Maybe we can add something next to the beach. We're gonna put this about out to here, and then we're gonna go out, bring it back, and connect it right here. Then we just have to fill in all of this once again, and then using the smooth tool, we should be able to make everything seem pretty flawless and seamless. Then after that, we'll switch to our paint tool and start decorating it to where it doesn't seem like a huge blob of grass. Or we'll think of something to build on it as well. I genuinely have no clue where I'm going with it just yet, which I guess is kind of what got me in this situation in the first place, not completely thinking it through. But I think I have a better idea than what I did. The idea and sizing for the lake was Robo, so I had zero idea since the beginning, but I've got a couple little plans up my sleeve here. All right, and there is one more high part in areas, so we're gonna do the same thing we did here, but it's gonna be a bit different of a shape. Let's connect it here, go out, and then we're gonna go back, and we'll go out one more time and sort of meet it up right there. And then we're gonna do the same thing, just filling in this whole area, and then we should be good to start smoothing everything out. Smoothing? Would it just be smoothing? Yeah, I don't know. Instantly a lot better. Not so much empty space for the lake. I will say the bean shape got a little lost, so we'll figure out what we want to do with that. The dock doesn't matter right now. The jet skis don't matter. And the buoys, we're definitely going to have to replace. So let's just delete all of them except for one. And we'll figure out how we want that lineup to be. But the next thing we need to do is grab our smooth tool in the terrain editor. Smooth, circle, no plane lock. And we're just going to carve like this, guys. Maybe a little bigger, maybe a little stronger, maybe even bigger. It needs to flow everything together, right? I'm not trying to bevel an edge. I'm trying to make this more of a hill and less of a cliffside. All right, guys. So to make this flow better, since the smooth tool itself wasn't really everything we needed, we're gonna add another step to each of these and then smooth it. However, this step will be about half the size. Draw, add, and let's put this down to 6. We'll have this one. You know, the ball is probably better, actually. And we should turn on plane lock as well. All right, plane lock is kind of messing it up. Let's maybe manual? Yeah, I can't draw when it's on this grass. Nothing, but if I turn plane lock off, I'm good to draw again. I'm confused. After a quick restart to studio, my the smaller one's working now. So I have it set to 3, and as you can see, it does fade this all together a lot better. It's still a bit choppy, but that's because I haven't smoothed it yet. And I think the smooth tool is gonna work a lot better now that the steps aren't massive. I have to finish this location right here. I think I'm gonna drag it out. I don't think I'm all the way on the ground. I might have been. I'm gonna drag it out, and then I'm gonna cut it back and out again. Then I'm gonna fill in this whole location and probably stack one more like squiggly line on top of this one. And then I'll smooth everything, and the terrain itself should look pretty close to done, other than painting some different textures on it, and of course, adding some trees. But even this, like, I don't know why I've never thought of it before today, like adding smaller steps so that the smooth tool can actually work. I mean, it seems like common sense now that I know, but I just never thought about it. So we got this filled in, then we're gonna go on top of it, and we want a bit of a different shape. So I'm gonna go in this way, out, and I think I'm gonna go all the way over, something like this. Then we'll fill that in, just like so, and these are little, we'll call them bubbly because they're just not perfectly filled in. But I think if we grab our smooth tool, turn plane lock off, make sure we keep it on the ball. Check this out, guys. Let's just start down here. I'm gonna smooth all of this. And as you can see, everything is fading together so much better. We probably could have another step in some of these areas, but I kind of like the cliff portion if it's not the whole thing. Like, check it out. If we smooth all of this really good, it's like a nice hill, but then right here we could paint as rock. This will help break everything up, and overall it should just look pretty cool. I'm gonna get everything smoothed out from the bottom to the top and see how it looks after all of that is done. This is not looking too bad. It would look a little better if Roblox would load all of it in. We have to kind of go to places so they actually get loaded in like so, but it doesn't look too bad. Now I'm going to paint all the random things on the ground, like sand patches, dirt patches, so it looks more like over here. And then when that's done, I will just brush pull the trees on and the plants, and this should be pretty good to go. All right, so if Roblox decides to load in the details, as you can see, I have painted a bunch of spots on the terrain completely at random, by the way. I feel like when I get too specific with everything, it looks very unnatural, so I kind of just spam clicked a bunch of different colors and textures in a bunch of different areas, and that's pretty much how our map has been made and set up so far. Now we need to start brush tooling all the trees and plants. What a godsend of a plugin. Now, quick question, if I grab these, let's grab our 3 tree types and one of our plants, and I add them all to the brush. Did I just crash studio? No, I'm good. I'm curious if I add them to the brush, if they will stay in the folders that I already have them put in. If they do, that's gonna be a mega win. We have the dark tree, the big tree, little tree, the fern. Let's grab our little bush thing. And there's one other type of tree that we don't have yet, but they look very similar. So I think we're just gonna send it with what we do have. Let's add all of these into our brush tool just to make it completely at random. We will have a random scale from let's do from like 0.9 to 1.3. No wobble, random rotation, activate brush. And now we just go crazy. Why is it only pasting one tree? And is this in order? Is this filing for us? Let's close everything. It is not, so we're gonna have to organize afterwards, but I'll definitely make sure to do that. All right, guys, I got trees placed, still need to organize them. and I want to decorate this more so it's not all grass, but for some reason I can't paint on the flat parts that I made. And I am like pretty new when it comes to Roblox terrains, but a lot of the flat spaces here, as you can see, I just can't paint on them. I'm trying to paint sand right here, can't paint, and I can paint no problem on the slopes. That works. But when you go onto any flat space that I've sculpted in, as you can see, watch this, no paint. Like, I don't know, I don't get it. So for now, it looks all right. I think the lake does look better as this bean shape rather than a massive hole with water in it. I do think this looks a lot better. And the terrain has a bit more way to go, but I think for now it's good considering I can't paint on the flat spots. This top piece up here, I'm not gonna fill in with trees. We're gonna build something here. I'm not sure what, and it won't be today, but if you guys have any ideas for what to build in this section, it's gonna be right next to the main racetrack, so keep that in mind. Let me know in the comments down below. I'm looking forward to checking them out and reading them. And I think that's gonna wrap it up for today's video. My bad about the last one. I was tripping. A parking lot in the middle of a lake with palm trees in Chicago. It didn't make sense. Guys, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Have a great day. Later.